Hello, everybody. This is Thor Young with Bear Bull Traders, and I'd like to do a recap for you on my MS and my ENPH trades. Sorry I haven't been on to do a recap for a few days. Just been like really busy. I'm actually had some family medical stuff going on that had to be taken care of, so just haven't had time to be on here. If you are still looking to see what I'm up to on the days I'm not able to do like a YouTube recap, I do also post a recap on my Twitter at Thor Young. And you can go there, and that's actually, I normally do a screenshot and actually type in my process into the screenshot so you can kind of see what I was up to. So today, I most specifically want to talk about trading ranges and using levels and L2 to figure out, where you want to get in and get out of trades. So, and most specifically here, you can see MS, ENPH as well. I actually took stop outs on both of my first entries, which was not awesome, but fortunately for me, good risk management saves the day, right? So first off, we have here, now when I talk about ranges, what I'm talking about is a range is any area between a significant support and a significant resistance. So when I'm looking in the pre-market for levels specifically, what I like to see is I like to see these specific areas of resistance and support, like right down here. So you can see over here, we sold up to this area, that created a resistance. It sold down to this area, this created a support. But you can also see here, this created a support as well. So I have these lines marked here, which are basically giving me my initial ideas of what range I'm looking to trade within, right? So MS opened up and it actually pulled all the way back, and it pulled right back to this area right here, 53.83, and then it started to push up from it. And when it made a new high here, I actually went to take a position, but for some reason my order hung up and I got filled really high. By the time it came back and everything woke up, I was sitting right near this level here, and it actually looked pretty strong. Fortunately, I only took a small, when I trade the open, I generically only trade a smaller position. So, and the L2 looked really good for selling up there, and it was holding this, so I added in a little bit here, but then inevitably just took a stop out on it. I couldn't handle it, so lost $100 right off the bat there. Not real happy about that. But it pulled back here, and then it hit this level here, this support here. So let me zoom in a little bit here. So now what I'm talking about, so we're creating a range here. So our opening range, right, is going to be the top here, 54, right, and the bottom here. So that is our opening range. Now when this stock came back down and it retested the opening range, but it could not break the opening range, that's a significant sign that we've got some upward pressure. Now notice also, tall wick here, it blew up really tall here. I mean, it was really fast. So as soon as it broke $54, I went ahead and got back in long. Now my loss, or my stop out, is going to be the loss of this range. So, and that's what I'm talking about when I say trading ranges and levels, right? I'm long here, stop out is here. All right, so now it was just a matter of waiting, and it did get tested. I mean, we pulled back here, we had some wicks that got a little bit lower, but nothing really ever got within too close of my range here, and basically the stock was just waiting for the averages to catch up and move. And it consolidated here for a very long time. Finally, we got the breakup on MS quite nicely. I got a nice partial here, partial, all right, and we were in business. Now, between this trade here, I had recouped all of my losses from my first trade, thankfully, and also managed to go up a little bit, quite a bit, almost $100 at this point, because I partialed pretty heavily just to make sure I got back on top. Now, as we came back here and held, we hit the bottom here, tested here, and everything looked like in the L2 we were still primed for a sell-up. So I went ahead and added into my position, and this time what I'm going to do when I do my add-in is I'm actually only going to risk my unrealized. This is the free roll that I talk about, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust that stop to 54.08. So I added in all of the shares that I could, which at this point was a couple hundred. I added in all the shares that I could so that I could get another pop up, but only risking the money that I already have. So, and you can see here my adjusted average became 54.08. Now, it took just a little bit of holding on, came down, tested an average, and then got a nice breakup. Oh, we just got above 55. I wasn't even paying attention. Hold on, I need to drop a little bit right there. Awesome. All right, so just got a nice move up. Let me adjust my stop out. So got a nice breakup on MS here, 55. So off of my shares here, I'm down to about 10% now. This was really my target. So I'm holding about 10% now. Got a great trade on that. Now, let's go to my other one, ENPH. ENPH, very similar thing. So now if you notice here, ENPH is at a really high. Let's look at the daily chart. See, we've had this massive breakout on ENPH, and it's way up here. So daily levels really aren't as relevant here. So I pretty much just default to the pre-market, but the pre-market really wasn't giving a lot either. So what I actually did was I went back to yesterday and noticed this really clean support we had here and this really clean support we had here on ENPH. A lot of the time, stocks that were in play on a day before will hold those same support lines from day to day. So naturally, ENPH came down here, made a big 5-minute hammer that I liked, off of those supports, and then came back, and this time could not retest support, and it came back above that 50, that 54 area. Let me get to the 1 minute so you can see a little bit more precisely. All right, zoom. So you can see here it came back up. It got above that support level. It was moving a little too fast here for me to get in there, but I waited. It did a nice little pullback and made a new high. I liked it, so I went long here. It went up to VWAP, and I couldn't quite get a partial. I needed it to get up to right around, just a little bit higher in order to get a partial. But unfortunately, it failed, and it took a stop out. But again, came back down, could not break this level, could not test, came back up. This time, because the action was a little bit easier to maneuver, I was able to get in at 55.40, and then was able to get my partial that I wanted, another partial at pre-market high. Another partial at my resistance level I had marked, and then I was in business, and I just hung on to this one, and I got nice partials all the way up through, almost to $58. I'm down to low shares on this one, so I was really looking more like to get close to 59 for another breakup, and we'll see what happens. Looks like she's dying off, and actually, if it loses VWAP, I will go ahead. Actually, we'll if we lose pre-market low, I will go ahead and get all out of my remaining position, which is easy enough. So, but as you can see, once again, what I'm doing here is I'm trading using levels. So my entries are taken off of levels. I'm really not using the averages for too much other than to kind of help me judge when we're going to break. But for the most part, as you can see here, my partials are all at key levels as we're moving up. And it just really makes it easy to know when to partial, when to get in, when to get out, set ranges. Like I got long here, my loss was my out was the loss of $55 because that would be the loss of my range that I had established here. So hopefully that was beneficial. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my trades today. Certainly a great day, and I hope everyone's keeping it green. Thanks.